from Mid-Ohio. They are in the black uniforms.
Yeah, that's the other fun thing about a tournament like this is you're seeing teams from all over the country, all over the world. We have a team from Mexico here. And so there's a little bit of you don't know what you're getting. I mean, in a normal situation, you've got a week to prepare for these teams. And in these games, you've got maybe 24 hours tops. So you're not doing the game planning that you usually would. You have to go out and play your football and then make adjustments as the game goes along as a coaching staff.
Well, we thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this one as we get quarter number 1 underway. And just as Brandon alluded to, a lot of running the football. We'll see it on the ground on the first play from scrimmage. That's Avery Kemp running the football, and he gets knocked out of bounds out near the 45.
Avery Kemp is their guy. He's the grinder. He's the guy that's going to really carry the ball, control the football game for the Seminoles. As long as he's successful in moving forward, they're going to be on target, on track. And one of the big things you asked about what at this level is important, it's staying ahead of the chains. The minute you get behind the chains at this level, the ability to throw the football isn't there all the time. We'll see. Maybe these guys can. You end up in that third and long situation, you're in trouble. Second and short, that's a whole different animal.
Second down and short. And they will give it to Kemp once again. And gets hit and knocked down by the Bucs. Short of the first down, and a short third down coming up for the Seminoles.
That was a great job by the defense there. They swarmed to the football. Avery's a big running back. He's big, he's physical, and you think on 2nd and 2 that's a kind of a gimme. But the Columbus Bucs defense did a great job, and I think that'll be key on their side of the ball is making sure multiple guys get to the football to tackle. If you're tackling Avery in space by yourself, it's going to be a long day.
Seminoles have the ball in Bucs territory. Marked at the 44, 3rd and inches. And the whistles blow, and we've got a flag on the play. It looks like we have our first penalty marker of the day. We'll go against the Seminoles. A little false start action there, Brandon. They have to walk it back 5.
Yeah, those little things that get you in trouble. And there's a big difference between 3rd and inches and 3rd and 5 at this age. And that's one of those mistakes that as a coaching staff drives you nuts. You've got to calm your guys down. That O-line's trying to fire off the ball as fast as they can, jump the count a little bit.
Dakari Hollis is the quarterback. You'll see him in jersey number 6 out there in white. The Bucs black jerseys and dark blue numbers not doing us any favors.
No, it's a bit of a challenge for these old eyes. I promise you that.
All right, 3rd down and 6. Football marked back to the Bucs 49-yard line. First quarter, no score. And they will give to the left side, running hard past the 45-yard line. Great juke there and got the first down. Nice running room by Kareem Burns, and he gets the Seminoles a new set of plays.
That was a nice play right there by Burns. They had a little full house backfield, had 3 guys in the backfield, kind of an inverted old school T look. And you're going to see him take the ball from the top. He's the top back there. He gets a big blocker in front of him there. A couple big blockers do a great job, open up a really big hole. And then he's able to use his speed, dip outside a little bit, and gain some extra yards.
So he gets to the 40-yard line. 6 minutes to go, first quarter. It's the first possession of the game for the Crunch Time Seminoles, the 10 and under national championship game. Burns gets the handoff again. He gets him the first down, so hey, let's give it to him once again. He picks up 2.
Keep feeding him. Look, that's one of the things about being a running back, and not that I ever was a running back, but from what I heard, the more carries they get, the better it gets. And I know a lot of guys that like that. So you've got a guy like Burns, you've got Avery Kemp, you've got to share the ball a little bit, but at the same time, if you've got a guy with a hot hand, feed him.
2nd down and 8. And again, keeping it on the ground. This will be our 3rd running back we've seen today. I believe that was number 40, Gamel Williams.
That's a big back right there, too. Now, he's got the extra sweatshirt on to give him a little bit more cushion in there, but that's a big running back.
Well, we talk a lot about whether at all levels of football, Brandon, that, you have to kind of block that out, play your game, but that's easier said than done, and I would imagine especially for a 10-year-old.
No doubt about it. A 10-year-old feels the cold, especially when you're standing around and watching. When you're out there, you don't really feel it, but these kids, their hands are going to get cold real quick.
to Williams once again. He is a load to bring down. He gets close to first down yardage. They're going to be a little bit short. They converted on third down earlier, but now looking at a fourth. He picked up 5, but he's a little short, Brandon, about 2 yards short. So when you're looking at fourth down at this age level, especially at this point in the field, what do you think?
Run the football. My guess is you're going to give it to that big fella again. Let him pound in there. Williams or maybe even Avery Kemp.
It's Williams again, running right, gets the first down as he passes the 30-yard line, gets close to the 28. And it looks like they convert on fourth down. They'll eyeball it, but I think they're moving the chains. And so the Seminoles out of the great state of Missouri, they are making hay on this first possession of the game.
This is a good drive. And this is what you see at this age. It's a lot of running the football, and it's very simple. You're still at the point where you're teaching kids the fundamentals of the game, teaching them the basics, blocking, tackling, schemes come later. So right now you're going to see a lot of the same play over and over and over again.
And right up the gut. Great tackle. Getting in there to trip him up. Ankle tackle there brought Williams down, and maybe a gain of a half yard. We'll mark it right at the 28-yard line of the Bucs.
Yeah, it looked like the Bucs brought a little pressure there. It looked like they brought one of the outside backers off the edge, and he did a great job getting straight down the line of scrimmage and tripping Williams up before he got a full head of steam.
Well, just like all levels of football, Brandon, even if you're talking about 10 and under, it is probably won and lost in the trenches, right on the offensive and defensive lines. It'll be our first pass attempt of the game, and it will be our first sack of this championship action.
That was a great job, man. That was a sack by committee right there. There were 3 or 4 guys. That was a jailbreak up front. And that D-line from Columbus got off the ball real fast there. And you don't see a lot of passing. That's part of the reason why. Pass blocking is one of the hardest things to teach. And at this age, it can be a challenge. That was a good job by those guys. You're going to see here. Let's watch this jailbreak here. Look at this. You got the nose guard in the backfield. They're bringing a little pressure off the edge. Hollis doesn't have a chance. This is one of those situations where at this age, 3rd and 15 is a long way to go. And 3rd and 20 is even more.
Yeah, it was a loss of 9 on the play. 3rd down 19. Football marked back to the 37, and you've got a false start. So they're going to tack 5 more onto this. They'll be looking now at a 3rd down and 24, and Coach Wayne now watches his team go the wrong way after they really moved the ball very effectively, Brandon.
Yeah, that's tough. As a coaching staff, that's one of those deals where that'll drive you nuts. You put a great drive together, you move the ball all the way down to the 29-yard line, all of a sudden you start going backwards.
Football marked all the way back to the 42. And again, football might have come loose. And it looks like the Bucs have it. And so, again, it's that great pressure coming through that defensive line.
Yeah, big Jalen Joyce in there, number 62. Coach Gwynn from Columbus said that he was their guy inside. He's the guy that creates a lot of havoc. He creates a lot of penetration. What happens here is Hollis, you're going to see on the pitch, he's pitching that back to Kemp, and I think it's either Kemp. Yeah, it's Kemp. And he's not able to get a handle on it. That ball all of a sudden sitting there in the middle of the Hall of Fame logo on the ground, and Columbus is able to come scoop it up.
As you mentioned, they get the pressure, force the turnover, and now the Bucs take over. First play of the day for the Bucs. And again, as expected, they keep it on the ground. Number 40, but not on our roster. We'll see if we can find out who that might be. Now, for these championship games, they get brand new jerseys, Brandon, and so sometimes the numbers might be a little bit of a fluid situation.
It is definitely a fluid situation. That's a great tackle for loss right there by Herbert Quinn, number 92. Does a great job penetrating in the A gap. Tackles the ball carrier before he can get in there. That was Jaden Gwynn with the carry. He was caught before he could get a full head of steam.
Gwynn, among others, was in on that sack of Hollis a couple of minutes ago. We have 44 seconds left to go in the first quarter. We have no score. Bucs have the ball. They're in the black uniforms for the benefit of those joining us late. But with the 8-minute quarters, Brandon, it bears repeating that every possession is critical.
There's no doubt about that. Every possession, every play is critical. You need to keep the ball in your hands and moving forward because you may not get it back this half.
Flags come out. Now the Bucs reacted as if maybe they had drawn the Seminoles offside, and that's exactly what happened. So they'll walk it ahead 5 yards. That was a 4th down play that gives them a first down.
That was a big penalty right there. That's one of those things that, as an old D-line coach, the head coach immediately looks down at you when your guys jump off sides, and you're screaming at the top of your lungs, I guarantee, watch the ball on 4th and 4, 4th and 3, because that's an easy first down for the Columbus Bucs offense.
So that will end the first quarter of play. No score. Seminoles had the turnover. Bucs moving the football. They'll have it 1st and 10 when the second quarter gets underway. Friend Zenith is the official helmet of the Pro Football Hall of Fame National Championship, committed to player safety and revolutionary innovation. Also, Jet Fuel, the official football of the Pro Football Hall of Fame National Championship and the official ball of the NFL. By Shadowman, the official tackling tool of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy, tackling better every rep. And the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy, the most elite football training by the NFL's best coaches. Top Ballers coming to Canton this July. Nominate now.
July is a lot different out here. There's not quite as much snow on the ground. I've worked that camp 2 years in a row. I've been fortunate enough to be one of the coaches. Really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun, a great experience just being here at the Hall of Fame, working with these young men that come here. But the temperature is definitely different. This is my first time with snow on the ground in Canton, Ohio.
Well, they were expecting, Brandon, to possibly break the 40-degree barrier today, and that is saying a lot for December 17th.
It really is, and this is what you want. Look, this is December football. This is what, in the NFL, these guys have to deal with. This is why running the football and playing great defense is so important in the NFL. It's the same thing here. When you've got tough weather conditions, it's cold, it's wet, it's rainy, there's snow on the ground. Great defense and running the football is how you win.
So we are underway now in the second quarter. The Bucs now moving right to left, and the football loose. It looks like the Seminoles might have it.
It looks like Williams, number 40, came up with that thing. It looked like just a bad exchange, and I don't know if it started with the quarterback-center exchange, but it was definitely a bad handoff. And that's one of those things that, let's check this out here. Well, he gets the ball. It's just a bad handoff. They don't connect. You got to put that ball in the breadbasket right in his belly. It almost looked like the running back wasn't ready for it. He was running through there like he was a blocker.
So the Seminoles take over, no score. Second quarter, just 4 seconds elapsed so far here in quarter number 2 in the 10 and under national championship. Hollis back out at quarterback. Long pitch, running from about his own 30. And turning the corner with great running room and out of bounds inside Bucs territory at the 44-yard line. That was carried very capably by Kemp.
Yeah, Avery Kemp is their guy. Like, they're going to give the ball to some other players, but Avery Kemp's the guy that makes the big runs, that moves the chains for him. In that win versus Pope John, that 7-0 win, he's the guy that got them the win. Not necessarily with touchdowns, but with big runs like that. You see him, this is a big pitch. It's what they were trying to run on the fumble last time. He gets a great block out on the front side, gives him just enough room to get his shoulders north and south and gain the extra 15 yards there.
Well, they were able to run him out of bounds, which stops the clock. So 7:46 to go here before halftime in Canton. We're at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. This time they hand it to Burns, and he gets tripped up right about the 37.5-yard line. So the Seminoles, who really started their first drive very effectively before the sack, the penalty, and then the turnover, and they'll try to right that ship as they are now working in Bucs territory. 1st and 10.
This is a big drive, kind of redeemed themselves. They had things going the first time. I think to get the confidence back, they've got to finish this thing. They've got to punch it in the end zone.
Again, a 7-0 win to get here, which tells you, number one, they had a tremendous defensive effort. And again, flags come out.
The right tackle moved a little early. Just a touch early on that cadence.
False start. Offense, number 98. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So they'll repeat second down here.
It's really, this is kind of what happened last time on that last drive, right? They had a couple big plays. They moved the ball forward. Then all of a sudden, it's those little mental mistakes, those little errors that put you in that second and long, third and long situation. Now the D-line can tee off because there's an opportunity to rush the passer.
Well, their one touchdown in their semifinal win came on a 20-yard pass by Hollis. So all of this running, Brandon, could at some point ultimately set up a potential passing opportunity. This time they will pitch it out, and Kemp is bottled up at about the 45-yard line. That'll be a loss.
That was a great job out on the edge. Number 44, Zaire Brown, does a good job getting out there and getting him on the ground. That's a big, big body out there he's trying to attack.
Right now, football at the 45. See this play again.
Yep, you're going to watch Brown here as his outside linebacker job. Now, he gets a lot of help from his buddies, but he's the free hitter here. He does a great job. It's not pretty. It doesn't matter how you get him down. You just got to get him down.
Third down and 12 from the 45-yard line. Seminoles football. There it goes, up top, and triple coverage, and the pass still hauled in. That's Bryant Poole, and that's good for a first down all the way inside the 30-yard line, Brandon. And boy, you talk about dropping it right in the breadbasket. That's what Hollis did.
Hollis did a great job putting that thing in the middle of 3 defenders and putting it right in Poole's hands. What a great job. Now, you're going to see he's going to get a little bit of extra protection up front. Not even a play action, but they got everybody in there, and he's able to just chuck that thing up there. 3 defenders and literally dropped it right in between them into Poole's hands.
Line of scrimmage now, the 28. So from 3rd and 12 to a 1st and 10, nearing the red zone. No score here in the second quarter. And again, that play gets off, but then quickly stopped with a false start against the Seminoles. You see our officiating crew. I did not get a list of our officials for this game, but quite an honor for these guys to be able to work this game, Brandon.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a little bit of extra work. It's extra rep, but at the same time, it's a big deal. And they're out here. They're doing a great job.
Timeout. White.
A little timeout for the Seminoles, trying to get things under control. Right? I'm sure the coaching staff right now is talking to that O-line and saying, hey, guys, look, we're moving the ball really well. We're doing a great job. We have got to stop jumping off sides. Take your time, take a deep breath, know where you're going and know what it's on, and take it from there.
Brandon, while we have the timeout, let's talk a little bit about how all of these teams got here to Canton for these national championship games. First of all, these are not all-star teams. These are teams that have been cohesive units all season long, and there's a scouting process that rewards them for achieving this level of excellence.
Yeah, they do. We look at a few things here, and number one is the record. Obviously, you have to be a good football team, and they look at the program's history, and is it a program that's successful, and do they do the right things? Playmaking ability, obviously we want to have some excitement out here, but I think the big one, especially for the Hall of Fame, is team character, right? They want to make sure that we're bringing the right type of young men into this really, really special place where for football. And then the last one is, you can be nominated, right? You can nominate your team, your kids' team, your organization at youthfootballchampionship.com. And the scouting group here does a great job. Gary Howard, Ray Farmer. It's a lot of work. They cover the entire nation. And like I said, we've got some international here. We've got a team from Mexico.
Great opportunity for these youngsters, all of their family and friends, to make the trip here, and just an opportunity of a lifetime, really, regardless of the outcome on the field.
No doubt. Get to be at the Hall of Fame, play football here on this stage. It's a lot of fun. It's a great memory.
That play did not develop well as Gamil Williams was looking for a hole. It just did not open. The Bucs with a good defensive stop there, Brandon, after giving up the big pass play.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was the message in the huddle. Hey, let's go out, let's forget about that last play and get a stop.
Yeah, you have to have a short memory playing defense, especially if you're playing defensive back and let it go, and the next play is the next play. And look, this group up front, they do a really, really good job. The Columbus Bucs have Jalen Joyce and Racine Pollard, 62 and 66. A couple guys that Coach Justin Gwynn talked about before the game as being kind of their bell cows on defense and the guys that they really lean on to handle the run game.
Hollis under center. And Williams tries to bounce to the outside. He is tripped up. Again, very good quickness, especially on the edge for the Bucs so far. I've been very impressed with the way they've been able to seal the edge almost every play.
Yeah, those linebackers have played really aggressive. And when you have a good D-line in front of you, when you've got guys like Jalen Joyce and Racine Pollard up there that can knock things back, it lets the linebackers move downhill right now and go get the football.
So no gain. It is 3rd down and 15 right now. About halfway through, just a little more than halfway through the second quarter here in Canton. 10 and under national championship. Split out 2 receivers on the right now for Hollis. Saw him throw the ball earlier. That time he steps into it, and it is deflected and incomplete.
He was looking for Avery Kemp on that one. Hollis put some heat on that thing. That ball came out smoking right there.
Pass calls incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down and 15.
That's a good idea, though. I like it. You know, to open things up a little bit, make the defense think. And sometimes at this level, you just got to see what they're going to do. And by splitting 2 receivers out, you know, sometimes teams haven't seen that. You're going to see it right here. Hollis sets his feet. That's a dart right there. It's just a little bit off target for Kemp.
Looked like Malik Duthit was the man who got his paw up there and knocked it down. So they're looking at a long 4th down now. The football marked at the 33-yard line. They did get it to the 28 on the 22-yard completion. But procedure penalty backed it up 5 yards. Now they're looking at a long 4th down. What do you expect here, Brandon? What do you think?
I think they're going to run kind of the same thing. Maybe a pass, maybe a little throwback here. That backside tackle is going to be eligible with the formation. Or they'll run the football.
They will hand it to Williams, and they will play the field possession game, not really risk a turnover there, and maybe even a pick 6 or something like that could be returned. And so they will send their defense back out there and still in a scoreless stalemate.
And look, one thing about this age group is that's a long ways to go. So if you've got the other team pinned inside, you know, on the other side of their 50, to go 60, 70 yards at this age is tough to do. At any level, it's hard to do. Look at in the NFL and college football, if you can make a team go 80, you got a better chance of winning on defense. So it'll be interesting to see how the Bucs come out here. They try
10, 5, and a touchdown. Daniel McGlown, number 20, takes it to the house. That is a 50-yard reverse, Brandon, and it's our first score of the game. I don't see any penalty markers down, and it looks like that one will go for 6.
Look at the fans over there. They're excited, standing out here in the cold, watching their kids play football today. That was a great run right there. He had a great block. He had a couple guys get out in front of him, and McGlone does a good job. They run a little sweep reverse kind of thing. He was playing the wing back on the far side of the field, and they ran a little reverse with him and brought him around, and, man, he did the rest. He burned around the corner.
6-0, Columbus Bucs. They will now set up. Now here's that interesting PAT combo. If they run it, they get a point. If they pass or kick, they get 2. And so we'll see what Coach Justin Gwynn decides to do after they run the reverse. Daniel McGlone. And they will run it, and the power gets them a point. That'll make it a 7-0 Bucs lead here in the second quarter. Late first half. The first time a team gets on the scoreboard, and it's the Bucs.
That was a great drive right there. A lot of ball in between the tackles, power running, and all of a sudden when you get the defense all sucked into the inside in the box, you run that reverse with McGlone, and man, he turned the corner and he was gone.
Gwynn ran it in for the point, and so it is a 7-0 Bucs lead with 1:18 to go, and here you have the Seminoles. They've moved the ball pretty well today, Brandon. Just at certain points they've self-destructed with a turnover, and then they gave it up on downs. And so now they hope they can put a late drive together.
Yeah, and look, this is one of those things that they just got to calm down right now, go out and play their football, and get a nice return, get the ball back. That's the number one thing in the kicking game is, catch the ball, field it, and then at the end of the day, they've got to put that drive together and not stall when they get down inside the 30. And that's what they've done. It's been self-inflicted wounds for these guys. And if the Seminoles can put it together and stop hurting themselves with the false starts and the fumbles, this turns into a football game real quick.
Not surprising to me, Brandon, that we would see a big play make a difference in this game, especially at this age level.
Definitely. One of the things that these guys do is you see those little 3-yard in a cloud of dust, and then all of a sudden you get a burner around the edge, and he's gone for 60 or 70 yards.
From the 33, just could not find any room to work. Avery Kemp on the return. And so the Seminoles will come back out, 1st and 10, 1:09 to go. 8-minute halftime break. And if you joined us late, 8-minute quarters. These national championship games, the National Youth Football Championships here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Returns the kick to the 37-yard line.
From our vantage point here in the press box, Brandon, we get a great view of that famous cone atop the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
That's really special place. I spent a lot of time on the football field, and to be able to come here and walk around and see all the history and learn a little bit. I mean, some of the stuff you start pushing back into the 40s and 30s. It's cool to see. It's a really, really special place. If you're a football fan like most people are, I definitely recommend the visit.
Flags come out, and there's a timeout was taken by the Seminoles.
There is no penalty on the play.
So no penalty, but a timeout was taken. So a 7-0 Bucs lead here in the second
Every year,
quarter.
the Hall receives hundreds of nominations for future Hall of Famers. Now there is a new selection process for the Hall of Fame National Youth Championships. For the first time ever, the nation's best teams will earn the right to compete in Canton this December to become Hall of Fame champions.
It's going to be someplace you can come bring your family for a weekend or a week if you're really, really a football fan, and have a great time, learn a lot about the game, and be someplace really special.
This will be run by Burns and cuts it back inside. Well, he was thinking about trying to turn the corner, but a great cutback right on a dime, and he gets out to the 41-yard line. That's a pickup of 4 yards. And just to finish the thought, I know all the folks here at the Hall of Fame and all the Stark County officials very excited about having this event here. They certainly hope to make it an annual event.
Definitely, and it should be. This is a lot of fun. We need to get more teams back here, get more diversity. Big interception.
That's picked off from his back foot. That one a little bit underthrown, and it's brought back by the Bucs to the 20, down to the 15. Sheds a couple of tacklers, but they finally get him down inside the 9-yard line. Picked off by Charles Woodfort Jr.
That ball was intercepted.
And brought back all the way to the 9-yard line.
That's a huge play right there. And you look at them, it's a self-inflicted wound that's really hurting the Seminoles right now. The turnovers, the penalties, and you air one out right there. and it definitely doesn't go your way. Now they've got a sudden change. The defense has to go out. The guys that were out there already have to get ready to play again. They have to make sure they get a stop right here. They cannot give up points.
That is about a 60-yard interception return. And now the Bucs inside the 10-yard line, but only 20 seconds left in the quarter. They lead it 7-0. And they will take a timeout here. A little dive play off to the right. And so the Bucs will talk things over.
22 seconds.
They'll set the game clock to 22 seconds. So we'll take a timeout here, back with more to see if the Bucs can put some more points on the board after this.
Every year, the Hall receives hundreds of nominations for future Hall of Famers. Now there is a new selection process for the Hall of Fame National Youth Championships. For the first time ever, the nation's best teams will earn the right to compete in Canton this December to become Hall of Fame champions. Among 8 age divisions, a selection committee of NFL top executives, college scouts, and gold jackets will select the best of the best. Nominate your team now at youthfootballchampionships.com.
.22 seconds left here in the second quarter. A 7-0 Columbus Bucs lead. We talk about all these teams coming from these far-flung locations, and here the team that's closest to Canton, they are on the cusp of taking a 2-score lead here in the national championship 10-and-under game.
The Bucs have been opportunistic so far. They've had a couple turnovers that they've gotten. That interception was huge right there by Woodfork. And now let's see if they can beat the clock.
Might have drawn him off sides. We'll see who jumped first. What do you think, Brandon? Looks like it'll go against maybe the Seminoles.
Outside.
Yeah, that's a great hard count right there. Woodfork Jr. is also the quarterback, the young man that made that nice interception. Nice little hard count in there. When you've got a D-line that's getting off the ball, it's an easy way to get 5 yards.
Second and goal, running to the right, and great defense by the Seminoles. Probably their biggest defensive play of the afternoon, as they come in and knock down the ball carrier on about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Jaden Spann right there, number 44, the left defensive end. He gets upfield. You can see him here at the top of the screen. You get up, hold on, we're going to the
last play,
reverse.
And here's the reverse again. Let's see if he gets in. They do. It is a great cutback, and they punch it in as time expires. They just got that play off, Brandon. They got set, snapped it with about 3 seconds left, and it looks like McGlone again was able to run that in. Number 20.
That's their go-to play right now. He's their playmaker, and that's what Coach Gwynn told us before the game, that he's the guy they go to for that big play, and McGlone's definitely not disappointed in that regard.
We'll see it again right here. Line of scrimmage at about the 6-yard line, and the reverse will come right your way.
Get a pulling guard out in front there. It's a good job by big number 52, Trust Dante. Gets out in front, gets a nice block, gets Daniel McGlone in the end zone.
So with no time left, they will attempt the PAT. They're going to throw for it. This would be 2, but it's knocked down. Well, there's a big hit in the end zone, and the Bucs player is shaken up. But no flags on the play, and that will end the first half with the Bucs leading 13-0. The big interception return by Charles Woodfork Jr. set up that last touchdown by Daniel McGlone.
At the end of the first half, the Columbus Bucs.
Well, one half in the books here, Brandon, and you have to like the position that the Bucs are in. They were very opportunistic in the first half.
Yeah, that's the great word. That's the right word. They've done a great job. It hasn't been pretty, but what they've done is they've taken advantage of every opportunity that the Seminoles have given them and put in 13 points. And the way that the Seminoles need to go in, make some adjustments, come back out and just play their style of football.
So we are at halftime here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Stay tuned. We'll have more coming up in just a moment. You're watching the National Youth Championships.
Here's how the nation's top 8th grade quarterback and running back trained with us last summer at the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy. The Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy was created for the nation's best, the nation's hungry, and the next generation of playmakers. Those athletes have an ambition for excellence, So we created a special place for them to train. After training more than 1,000 Division I and NFL athletes over the past 15 years and running the nation's biggest showcase events, our team of NFL coaches had the unique chance to study football success at all levels. From the nation's top middle schoolers to 4- and 5-star prep athletes to NFL prospects and even Hall of Famers. So we created a special place where we could produce the best through the new football curriculum and world-class training. Our special curriculum features 22 hours of career-changing football. And over those 22 intense hours, we test, train, and showcase our special athletes like nowhere else ever created. The new curriculum is found in Canton, Ohio, at the home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy, part of the emerging $800 million world-class football training complex. Called the most inspirational place on earth, Canton was built for the best. From the Gold Jacket Hall of Famers to the NFL's top draft choices to our Academy athletes who are invited to train with us every summer. But the Academy's DNA is our world-class master coaches from the NFL ranks, Hall of Famers, sports scientists, and nationally renowned trainers who have reimagined the future of football training at every position. This new training paradigm focuses on the entire athlete over a 12-month cycle and also embraces parents to become experts in the latest on athlete development through parent-only breakouts while in camp. We start with world-class testing to understand your physical and football ability against where you stand by age and position against the other top athletes across the country. Our 25 data points that we collect help us break your game down to better understand your strengths and areas for improvement. We then provide world-class training by our NFL coaches to make you better technical football players through on-field sessions and classroom work. Improving and refining your skill is the biggest difference we can impact. We then test your football IQ with the latest technology to understand how you process the game of football, an undervalued skill today that is another difference maker in your journey. We then invite the nation's top recruiters from the college ranks and the NFL to evaluate each athlete and provide an assessment. Gary Howard, the nation's top college scout, leads our scouting team. Our 100 top middle schoolers who attend the academy make the 8th grade list, provided 250 colleges every summer. But for every athlete, the academy does not stop when you leave camp. Our detailed reports provide you with areas of improvement, and a take-home training program provides you with a year-round plan to be great. For those athletes on a special football journey, we built a special place just for you. We hope you answer the call to the hall this summer to train with us and accept one of the limited spots available. This is Ray Lewis that you're going to talk to in about 30 seconds. Here he is. Here's Ray Lewis.
Gio, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How old are you?
How old you are? 9.
You're 9. Well, congratulations because you're the first person that we're picking to come to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, man. You be good, and I'll see you soon, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Go, yes! Hey, dude. Hey, come here. What's up? Who just called you? Ray Lewis.
Welcome back to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium here in Canton, Ohio. It's a cloudy and overcast and chilly afternoon. It's the 10 and under National Championship game, part of this National Youth Championship weekend here in Stark County, Ohio. David Wilson back here with the former Nittany Lions defensive tackle Brandon Noble, and the Columbus Bucs leading it 13-0 out of the great state of Missouri. The crunch time Seminoles held scoreless in that first half, Brandon, but at times they looked like they were moving the ball very well. What do you think about keys to the second half?
Well, I think the big thing for the Seminoles, like we talked about going into halftime, is look, just go in and tell the kids to calm down and do what you do, right? It's the mental mistakes, it's the self-inflicted wounds right now that are really hurting the Seminoles. They've moved the ball effectively from 30 to 30, but what's happened is once they've gotten closer to the end zone, they seem to make a couple key mistakes that pushes them out. The other thing is, on defense, they have to make sure they know where number 20 is, Daniel McGlone, because when he's coming back on that reverse, he's fast and he's dangerous, and he scored 2 touchdowns.
You know, Brandon, we get used to seeing games and watching football at higher levels where you would probably run a play like that maybe once a game, and it probably would not work again. You probably would not go back to the well a second time at the high school or college level, certainly not in the NFL, but at a level like this, if you get a play or a player that seems to be clicking, you're going to stick with it, right?
Definitely, and that's one thing that's really important as a staff is you realize, you know, what do they do? And you don't have a lot of time to prepare for these teams, so really your adjustments happen right now. They're going to say, hey, look, these are things that we need to do, and we need to make sure we know where number 20 is. McGlown, we said his name wrong a couple times. I'm sorry about that. But he's a heck of a football player, and I'm sure we're going to call it a couple more times this half.
Well, you said it wrong, Brandon. I was getting lockstep right with you. All right, 13-0, the Bucs lead. And boy, you can't forget about the great interception and run back of about 60 yards by Charles Woodford Jr. Not only is he the quarterback, but made that great INT as a defensive back.
Yeah, and they need to do it, but you know, I think that goes back to what can the Seminoles do better, right? Don't give the ball away. In a game where possessions are maximized because of the short quarters, the 8-minute quarters, every single one counts, and you can't give the other team an extra one.
Gonna try a little onside kick here, and it's up for grabs, and the Seminoles will have it.
That's the way to start right there for the Seminoles. It's a great kick.
Went off a Bucs hand, and you got that good upward bounce. Just what you want.
Great job, and Zahir Harvey, number 2, is the guy that comes up with that ball for him. That was a great kick. Not an easy thing to do. Brian Gold there with the kick, number 51. He did that like an old pro. It was a nice bounce. It goes through a couple arms. It's a great job by those 2 guys hitting the Bucs return man there, popping that ball out so Harvey can get it.
Well, exactly what the Seminoles wanted. So they get a chance to have possession of the football. We're just underway here in the third quarter, 8-minute quarters. Seminoles in white, the Bucs in black and blue. It's sort of representative of the way they ran the ball.
Yes, black and blue. This is big. This is that extra possession that I was talking about. The Seminoles had to stop giving the Bucs, and now they've actually gone out and got an opportunity for their offense to get an extra possession to start the half.
They're trying to get the Bucs positioned defensively, and I think there's a helmet issue. One of the offensive linemen of the Seminoles, the officials trying to get that corrected. And boy, you know, Brandon, we talk about this and we talk about the football aspect, but these are 10-year-old kids wearing those pads and the helmets, and they just, it's a great sight out there. Sometimes I think the equipment is heavier than the player himself.
Yeah, this is about the age. It's kind of 10 and under group where it starts to look a little bit more like it fits, like it works. When you start looking at those 8 and under kids, those little guys, 5, 6, 7-year-olds, they look like bobbleheads, you know, and they all fall down at the end of the play, and none of them can get up because the helmets are so heavy. But these guys are starting to get to the point where it looks a little bit more natural. They look like they fit. They're carrying themselves a little bit better. It's just a lot of fun. You know how much fun these guys are having.
So there is a delay right now. As you can see, they are kind of in a holding pattern down on the field. Plenty more action coming up tonight. Brandon, we have the Pee Wee divisions coming up this afternoon.
There's so much football getting ready to come. I mean, this is a long, long day. This is game number 3 this morning here at Tom Benson Stadium, and we've got a lot more. This is going to go all night long.
All right, I think we'll take a break here. There's an issue down there, I think, with the chain gang or some of the on-field operations, so we'll take a timeout here. The Bucs leading it by a score of 13-0 in the 10 and under national championship game. Back in a moment here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. That's all right. All right, so they've got things squared away on the field. A little trap play running right over the center is good for maybe a half yard. And that Bucs defense trying to stiffen here, Brandon. They lead it 13-0. I'm sure Coach Gwynn has talked about, hey, let's start the second half by making a statement.
Definitely, and these guys have to do it right now on defense. They weren't expecting to have to do it on defense. They were ready for the football. This is what you call sudden change, and it's something that a coach preaches all the time. Defense has to be ready to play on any snap and go out and answer the bell.
They're showing blitz here. Some guys maybe in the neutral zone.
Penalty on the play.
False start. It's going to go against the Seminoles. Dakari Hollis sort of waved his arms. I think he thought they might have been okay, but they will walk it back 5 yards. Second down and 15. We have 7:16 to go here in the third quarter of play.
Hey, Malik, protect the outside, watch the play. Hey, Malik, if you come, full speed, go get it.
See that great Hall of Fame logo right there at midfield. That's where the Seminoles are at the line of scrimmage. 7:03 to go. Clock moving. 8-minute quarters here, and so the opportunities for the Seminoles are going to be very critical here. And again, some movement there, Brandon. Everybody a little anxious down there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on right now. You get a lot of movement from the Columbus Bucs defense. There's a lot of guys moving around, kind of shuffling around, showing like they're going to blitz, showing like they're walking in, walking out. But this seems to be a chronic thing right now for the Seminoles. And again, I think the coaching staff just needs to calm everybody down and figure it out. Maybe even change the cadence.
Hollis over center.
Watch the sweep right here. Sweep.
And they'll pitch it. And they will get a nice open field tackle. All the way back to the 35-yard line. That was carried back there by Kemp.
34, Avery Kemp, the ball carrier.
That was a great job by that defensive end. He does a great job, number 60. You're going to see him on the edge there. Gets upfield. Look at him running out there.
Backfield on the 35-yard
Great
line.
job reaching out. Finishes the play on Avery Kemp. Avery's a good football player, too. That's not an easy thing to do.
I believe it's possible that it's Desire Lamar Waller. We might see if we can get confirmation on that.
That'll bring up third
Again,
down and 26.
we mentioned in the first half, they get these brand new championship jerseys. And so some of those numbers don't match the ones they played some of their earlier games in the tournament with. And so they try to get those assigned. And sometimes the communication is a little bit late getting up to us as far as who got what number.
So that was Racine Pollard.
Okay, yep, Racine Pollard, the offensive lineman and defensive end.
We got this, y'all. We gotta stay hungry.
Big number 60. He's the guy that Coach Gwynn said is a really, really good pass rusher. So did a great job there stopping the run.
Timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. 5:22 to go here in the third quarter. 13-0 Columbus. Back after this 30-second timeout. All right, 5:22 to go, third quarter. 13-0 Bucs. Both of their touchdowns scored in the first half. Bucs ball, they've been marching backward. Right now it's third down and 26.
Right there up the middle.
And they will
There you go, Zaire.
run a little draw play right up the middle. It goes nowhere. Gets to the 37-yard line. The Bucs did not bite on the spread formation there, Brandon. They stayed at home. They were able to make the tackle.
Yeah, that's a great job on defense because when they've done that, when they've motioned that back out of the backfield, they've run the toss to that side. That's what they were going with there. Then they snuck a little counter into Kareem Burns. But that interior group, the two D tackles and the linebackers, did a great job staying home there.
Well, very impressive defensive effort so far by the Bucs. Both of their touchdowns scored by McGlown in the first half. Not yet halfway through the third quarter. And so here come the Seminoles. Big fourth down here, 4th and 24.
That's all stars right there.
Clock is moving, and I would expect to see them kick this one away, Brandon, but now they're getting in that punt formation. Nobody back deep for the Bucs. It's a high snap, and boy, were they coming in waves, but again, I think somebody in the neutral zone too early.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
It doesn't really hurt you on defense. You know, if it's 4th and 25, who cares? Get a jump on that thing and see if you can get the block. There's nothing wrong. And now it's 4th and 20, right? You're okay. It's not a big deal. But again, you know, you don't want to coach that too much because then all of a sudden the kids think it's all right to be early. But it definitely doesn't hurt you.
4:07 to go. Now the snap on the last punt attempt was not ideal.
No, definitely not ideal. That's one of the things. The operation is really, really difficult, and to find somebody that can do it at this age is a challenge.
So we have another timeout on the field. Looks like the Seminoles took a timeout, so we have 4:04 to go here in the third quarter, 13-0 Columbus. And we'll be back with more Youth Football Championship action after this. Halfway through the third quarter here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. 10 and under national championship. Spread formation. Looks like they may eschew the punt now. Hollis takes the snap and he will wing it, and that one is picked off. Intercepted, and I believe that may have been Tolliver Martin or maybe McGlown. I'm not sure.
There's McGlown again.
Yeah, I think you're right. That would be his second interception of the afternoon. He picks it off at the 42-yard line. We'll see it again right here.
Yeah, it's a great job. He's sitting there in the slot, drives on that thing. He's the number two. He's the guy covering the slot, drives on that thing. They were trying to get it out to Avery Kemp, I think, in a little slip screen. It's a good job by McGlone.
That pass was intercepted
Well,
by
he stepped
Columbus'
right
number
in
62,
front, jumped the route.
Jalen Joyce.
And so here we are. Bucs take over.
The Bucs
Another
will take
turnover.
over at
That's
the
been the story of the day
42-yard line.
for
First and
the
10.
Seminoles. At times able to move the football, but some ill-advised, ill-timed penalties, and then the sort of desperation situation,
Yeah.
4th and long.
Forcing him to throw the football.
Yep.
It's really those false starts that are killing him right now.
So now the Bucs will keep it on the ground.
We all right, relax, we all right.
And that looks like it was Moo Martin. In fact, it might have been Gwynn. And again, those, from where we are, about 7 stories up.
Yes.
I think a little tough to make out some of those blue on black numbers, but you know what, here are excuses today.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
no excuses.
3.5 minutes to go. We'll blame it on our director, John Chastney.
Yes, I like that excuse.
Should have made them wear different uniforms.
Well, hey, look, I'm
They do
thankful.
look great down there.
I'm thankful. I'm inside. It's nice and warm.
5-yard penalty. Full second down.
Well, now the Bucs start to move back a little bit as they get the false start.
That's one of those things that can kind of get contagious, and you see that, with the Seminoles right now. They have this really bad issue with their jumping off sides, and if you're the Bucs, you don't want that to. That can spread. That can be catchy. You don't want that to roll over to your side.
Charles Woodfork is the quarterback. Again, they keep it on the ground, and I would expect you'd see a pretty steady diet of running plays, letting that offensive line do its job.
Yes, definitely. That's Jaden Gwynn right there on the carry, number 42. They're just going to keep feeding him to the inside. Again, they're in 3rd and long situation. This is one of those ones where you as a defense, where have they hurt us? McGlown right on the reverse. I mean, I think you got a key on number 20 right now. If you're the Bucs, excuse me, if you're the Seminoles, make sure you've got eyes on number 20.
He scored 2 touchdowns and recorded an INT today for the Bucs. .227 to go, 3rd quarter. This one up for grabs and falling backwards, almost a great catch. First time I believe the Bucs have gone to the air today. And it was right along the sideline and just off of Malik Duthitt's fingertips as he was falling backwards.
Yeah, again, at this age, this is one of those deals. It's not easy to throw the football. This is a long pass right here. He's got good protection. He's got time. He chucks that thing up in the air just a little bit. It's kind of like that old back shoulder fade right there. And Duthitt does a good job. He adjusts to it. Just can't quite haul it in.
Well, I love to see that kind of effort. 10 and under age group here, and just laying out, trying to get that pass. Great athletic opportunity there. And they bunch 4 receivers out to the right, and on the 4th down play, they do get the completion to their go-to guy, McGlown, but well short of the 1st down, and the Seminoles hold, and they will take over down 13-0. Today's game brought to you in part by Boomba, the official uniform of the Pro Football Hall of Fame National Championship, where teams go when they want the best. And by Shadowman, the official tackling tool of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy, tackling better every rep. Boy, you talk about any level of football, you will hear coaches say, we've got to tackle, we got to secure the football, you can't turn the ball over. And that's going to be true no matter what.
No matter what, it doesn't matter. And that shadow man's a great tool. They've got a great tool set, a lot of different things you can do with it, but one of the important things is it teaches kids how to tackle without the contact.
Illegal substitution. Offense. 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
All right, 5 more against the Seminoles. This time they did not get everybody off the field. They have 12 guys, 2:01 to go. Here in the third quarter, 13-0 Bucs. And despite everything that has gone wrong for the Seminoles right now, Brandon, they're still very much in the football game. Plenty of time left. They just need to make plays.
Yeah, they need somebody to do something big right now. Whether it's Avery Kemp or Williams, doesn't matter. Hollis, they just need a big play right now.
Run right into the teeth of that defense. And that play is snuffed out. That's going to be maybe a loss of 1.
I think that was Zaire Brown, number 44, from his inside linebacker spot again, coming in and filling the tackle.
1:42 to go. And boy, you get to this point, Brandon, I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit later. It's almost like any kind of high school or youth league championship game. You hate to see anybody have to lose a ball game. And I think just the experience of playing here is something that's going to help these players as they move forward in their careers.
Yeah, being on a big stage like this is always important, especially if you do it at a young age. That's what these guys are getting here. They're getting, only one team leaves this place happy.
Well, Burns, the ball carrier, he got most of the penalty yardage back.
Gain of 5 on the play.
And so he picks up 5. It'll be 3rd down and 10. We have just a minute to go here in the third quarter. Coming up after the game, we will show you the presentation of the trophy on the field. And so we thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. But here in Northeast Ohio, this is a much better football viewing option than maybe the NFL choice.
I think it is right now. I definitely think it is, especially when you're looking at the Columbus Bucs and the position they're in right now.
This one, a little bit overthrown, and it's picked off. Another interception for the Bucs. And this one still in transit on the way back to the other side of the field. Across the 40 to the 35 and out of bounds. And how about that? It's Woodfork again. He had the big pick in the first half. He's doing it all as a quarterback and the defensive back. And he is able to pick that one off. And that was not a poorly thrown ball. It was right in the target area, Brandon.
Yeah, that was a well-thrown ball. It was better coverage by Woodfork Jr. right there. You're going to see him. He's got great eyes there, right? They tried to sneak the tight end out, run a little corner route right there. And Woodfork does a great job. And once he sees what's happening, he goes and runs the corner route. Ball ends up in his hands, and he ends up with a big return.
Keeping in mind, we're talking about 10-year-old players, but Hollis really a habit to throw off that back foot rather than stepping into it. Brandon, that's something that he'll grow into, but just couldn't quite get everything on that throw from that position.
Yeah, and again, this is the age where you're kind of transitioning into that part of the game where you're starting to learn how to pass block, you're starting to learn how to throw the ball, and coaches are starting to feel a little bit more comfortable actually doing it. At the end of the day, that's the hardest part as a coach, is saying, hey, I'm okay with throwing the ball downfield, because a lot of times bad things happen like that.
All right, that's the end of the third quarter. We have 8 fateful minutes to go. The all-important fourth quarter coming up next from Canton here on the National Youth Football Championship.
Hey, I'm here with Savell, one of the top 2020 prospects in the country. He's already got college offers and all that great stuff coming up. He was here at the Hall of Fame Academy training with NFL coaches and some of the top coaches in the whole world.
Come on, finish. Space it. Tell you twins like to be right next to each other. Let's go, boy. Good job.
Had 2 guys read past and 2 did not.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with him. He reminds me of a lot of first-rounders I've had in the past, and not only because of his football skills, because of where he reacts to coaching and tries to improve, and they're very conscientious, and he's smart, and it's easy to coach. And the guy's got a motor. He's got a good motor, and his name will be very close to coming into this thing one of these days if he does his things right.
Well, I think that when we first saw you, Savell, the thing that everybody noticed on our team was that you had an unbelievable first step, and that and you know, I know as you coach linemen, the one thing the guy said is he's a great kid, but when he has a helmet on, he is nasty. And so that was our first initial take on you, and then your body. You know, you're going to keep on growing, and you're a 2020 kid. And our guys were projecting you already as maybe the number one guy in his position in the 2020 class. And as you keep working on your technique and stuff, arguably you'll be the number one guy. So you've done a great job. It's great to have you here, and you are a great kid. We love you, and it's just an honor to be around you and to be coaching with you and working with you.
And it was also really good meeting the few kids I met too, because like I just felt like they looked up to me somehow, and I felt really good just knowing like that moving on I could have that impact on younger people.
Good luck, Seville. Have a great campaign, and we'll see you sometime soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have 8 minutes to go as we start the fourth quarter here in the 10 and under national championship. Bucs and Seminoles, 13-0 Columbus Bucs. 2 touchdowns today by Daniel McGlown. And both on the same play, those reverse options that they've used to perfection today. And we start the fourth quarter. Big surprise, full start penalty.
5-yard penalty.
You know, I remember the days, Brandon, you will too, especially in high school football, they would never announce the player. I think even in the college ranks, they wouldn't necessarily announce the player who the penalty was against. That was only for professional football. Now we're doing it at 10 and under.
Everybody knows who did a big run right there.
There's a flag at the end of the play. Nice run down inside the red zone. That was started at the 35. They're going to bring it back. That's our first holding call of the day. So the hold wipes out the run. They'll mark it back to the 40. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 7:51 to go. Well, still 13-0. Seminoles need a stop. But the Bucs defense today, that has really stood out.
They've played lights out. I mean, the way that they've gotten the ball back for their offense has been pretty incredible, and the way they swarm. I mean, every time somebody gets the ball, there's 2 or 3 black jerseys and black helmets on top of it.
Really, you go back all the way except that very first possession, and the Seminoles were able to move the ball pretty well. Now here's Woodfork carrying it. And they set up some blocking for him. He gets back to the 33-yard line. Got all of the holding yardage back, plus a couple of more. 12-yard run for Charles Woodfork.
That was a great job out there by the cornerback. I think that was Deontay Anthony out there, number 26. Great job playing off the block, shedding it, and then making a tackle on Woodfork.
Coach Justin Gwynn told us that Woodfork, a poised, experienced leader. That's high praise for a 10-year-old.
It is high praise for a 10-year-old, and he's showing it to be that way.
It really has managed the game well. They keep it on the ground. And split 2 defenders, get close to the 27-yard line.
Morris Glover does a good job there from his defensive tackle spot, kind of blowing that play up. That was that reverse play that stung him a couple times for 6 points, and Morris Glover does a good job, gets some penetration, gets upfield, and he's able to get one of those big mitts on the running back and get him on the ground.
And McGlown is like, hey, that's supposed to go for a touchdown.
Yeah, 2 for 2 at one point. So, yeah, McGlown, definitely probably a little surprised that he got tackled, but gets him into a nice 4th and short.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Woodfork hands it up the middle. Gwynn carrying. And inside the 25, and that's 4th down conversion. They needed 2. He got 3. They moved the chains, and boy, it's sort of you keep going more and more degrees to the Columbus side. You had the pick. Now you have a 4th down conversion. And boy, it's just getting to be more of an uphill climb for the Seminoles right now.
Yeah, and the way that these teams score, is on the ground most of the time. And so unless you've got that big home run hitter, it's tough to move the ball and score quickly. And they're going to be up against time very soon. And they're going to need to get a stop here, go 3 and out, fresh set of downs. And then offensively, they're going to have to put those mistakes away and drive the ball like they have, but then finish the play.
But of course, either of these teams capable of breaking off a big play at any moment. Gwynn, nice cutback right along the hash mark, gets to the 15-yard line. Very nice run. That's close to another first down. He's going to be maybe a yard short.
That was a good carry right there. Just strong, off-tackle, power type running. You can see they're going to take it off the left side here. Great surge by the O-line, and Gwynn does a good job. Good vision. He misses Morris Glover there, gets outside, and then he gets into the secondary, and he's at the second level. And got three defenders bring him down, but he ends up in a second and short.
Both of these teams have approximately 20-man rosters. And, boy, it's been a team effort today for the Bucs. Everybody's been in and have contributed. They made some big plays today to put them in this position. They are 4.5 minutes away from a potential 10 and under national title. And the quarterback keeps it that time. Down to the 10. Looks like you're going to have a second and goal situation coming up. Ball marked right at the 10-yard line. Bucs in black. If you've joined us late, they scored 2 touchdowns in the first half. There's been a scoreless second half so far. We're halfway through the third quarter. There will be games coming up here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium all evening. Pee-wee championships are coming up at 1:30 and 3:15. We'll stream those for you right here. Nice tackle. Gwynn breaks away from the first guy and then gets wrapped up and dropped. Nicely done in the offensive backfield. They did not give up. Finally brought down by Xavier Champman.
Yeah, that was a great job of penetrating by the defensive line right there. You're going to see the 2 D tackles getting off the ball inside. A little slant move. Just can't quite finish the play. It tells you how strong Gwynn is. I think that's 56, Jaden Sims, who ends up in the backfield right away. And he's finished up there. The good thing is it creates that penetration, lets Chapman come in and finish it off.
3:02 to go in the football game. They're taking their time in the huddle here. And now a timeout, I believe, is going to be taken.
Timeout. Black. Their first and a half.
Bucs take their first timeout of the second half. They'll have 2 remaining. 2:44 to go in the fourth quarter. And it's all Bucs, 13-0. Back after this timeout.
Every year, the Hall receives hundreds of nominations for future Hall of Famers. Now there is a new selection process for the Hall of Fame National Youth Championships. For the first time ever, the nation's best teams will earn the right to compete in Canton this December to become Hall of Fame champions. Among 8 age divisions, a selection committee of NFL top executives, college scouts, and gold jackets will select the best of the best. Nominate your team now at youthfootballchampionships.com.
Late fourth quarter here in the 10 and under National Championship. Our broadcast today brought to you by the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy. The most elite football training by the NFL's best coaches. Top ballers coming to Canton this July. Nominate now. Well, we thank all of the folks here at the Hall of Fame and Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, this beautiful new facility, for hosting this great championship weekend for youth football players from around the country and around the world.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's a great environment. It really is. And like I said, it's a little nicer in July when you come out here for the Academy.
And again, the Bucs running the football. Second and goal, and great tackling in the backfield again by the Seminoles. Gwynn brought down, but more importantly, that clock keeps moving. That's what the Bucs and head coach Justin Gwynn wants to see.
Jaden Gwynn, the ball carrier.
Yeah, right now, doesn't matter the down and distance. They just want time to come off that clock. The longer that they can hold the football right now and the further that the Seminoles have to go with it, the better it is for the Bucs.
Tolliver is in there at fullback. He's number 40. You see him in the long white sleeves there, trying to get their play call in. And a bootleg to the left. This is Woodfork. Runs into his own man. That actually helped him. He got inside the 5 and down close to the 3.5-yard line. Charles Woodfork Jr. Nice run. They tried to block for him, and you can't fault the effort there. He ran into his own man, but actually was able to keep his feet. Turned that into a nice play, but it's 4th and goal.
Yeah, that was a great job. And Jalen Joyce, number 62, the big offensive lineman, is the guy they pulled out in front of it. You're going to see him here from the top of your screen, or the bottom right here, 62, right? See him pull around the corner there? Here he comes. The big guy's coming out there. He's looking for somebody to block. He knows there's got to be someone, and then here comes, Woodfork on the cut. Kind of throws him in there. He gets a pancake block out there.
He stayed with it.
Stayed with it, kept running, kept blocking. I love it. The big fella out there knocking people down.
Timeout. Black. Their last of the half.
Bucs will use their final timeout. So we'll take a timeout here. Nearing the finish line of the 10 and under national championship game. Bucs hoping to take the trophy back down south to Columbus, Ohio. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
Every year, the Hall receives hundreds of nominations for future Hall of Famers. Now there is a new selection process for the Hall of Fame National Youth Championships. For the first time ever, the nation's best teams will earn the right to compete in Canton this December to become Hall of Fame champions. Among 8 age divisions, a selection committee of NFL top executives, college scouts, and gold jackets will select the best of the best. Nominate your team now at youthfootballchampionships.com.
Well, there is our view from high atop Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, 4th quarter, and just 67 seconds left. And Bucs coach Justin Gwynn leaving nothing to chance here. He uses his final timeout. 4th down and 5 from the 5-yard line. So 4th and goal, Woodfork back to throw, and he's got a man open, back of the end zone, pass caught, touchdown Bucs. Number 36 in black and blue hauls it in. That'll make it a 19-0 lead for Columbus. 1:02 to go, 4th quarter, and Woodfork took his time. And boy, he's fashioned a pretty good championship game resume today.
Yes, he's had a pretty good day. And what happened there is as Woodfork gets around the corner.
That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
A little penalty late, but Woodfork gets around the corner there, and it brings the corner back up, who ends up coming off of his receiver, who is then standing in the middle of the end zone by himself. It's a nice, easy pitch and catch for Charles Woodfork Jr. Touchdown, 19-0, a minute left to play. This is going to be really tough for the Seminoles to do.
There was a penalty after the play. It did not negate the touchdown. It'll be enforced on the kickoff. And so here is the point after attempt. They will run it and look to get a single point after, and they get it. That was Mumu Tolliver Martin, who rumbles in. The big fullback makes it a 20-0 lead for the Columbus Bucs.
Mumu runs the ball into the end zone for Columbus.
He is on a first-name basis with the folks here in Canton.
Yes, he is. Nicknames like that. We had a young man last night playing for the one of the teams. Nickname was Squirrel. And then we got Mumu today.
That last touchdown pass was caught by number 36, Dante Truss.
Dante Truss
catches that pass.
Made the touchdown reception. And boy, Woodfork, and we talked about his poise in tough situations like that, and that's exactly what he did when he waited, and boy, found Truss wide open.
Great job using his feet, getting, sat in the pocket for a second, felt a little bit of pressure, scrambled out to his left, reset his feet, Saw Truss open in the end zone, tossed it to him. You know, as easy as that looked, you know, from a pitch and catch perspective, that's not easy to do, and especially at this age with these guys in this weather.
These guys have played together all year, and again, these are not all-star teams from their respective communities, but they have played well in their leagues and been nominated for this. They were scouted by the National Youth Championship scouts and invited here to play. So the Bucs, where they win against Ellenwood in their semifinal, 14-6. They have a 20-0 lead here against the Crunch Time Seminoles out of Missouri. They enforce the penalty yardage on the kickoff, so it's actually kicked from inside Seminoles territory. The Seminoles will take over. I'm sure Tavari Wayne, the head coach of the Seminoles, will have some very encouraging words for his team at the end of this game, but it will be the Bucs taking home the trophy, and very well earned.
Definitely well earned. And look, the Bucs have played a great football game today, and the Seminoles, I'm sure they're going to go back, and Coach Wayne is going to talk about some of the mistakes that they made and some of the things that they did wrong, and then they'll look to rebuild and come back next year and get another opportunity to come win a national title.
We have 54 seconds left. And the Seminoles will get their offensive unit out on the field. And best news these guys will be able to get probably after the game, win or lose, is that we got free pizza on the bus.
No doubt about it. These guys are, and that's what's great about this age is they wash it off pretty quick. You know, they're going to recover. They're going to be playing video games and laughing and joking before you know it. There'll be some tears real quick, but then it's going to be all smiles and laughs.
To the outside, a little wide receiver screen, and that's to Kemp, who breaks a tackle, gets all the way to midfield. Looks like the ball came loose at the end. Question is whether he was down. Bucs thought they recovered it, and they do say it is Columbus football. So the Bucs take over on the fumble. We'll see it again right here, Brandon.
Yep, little toss out to the side here, a little pass to Kemp. It's a nice little play. Get him out there. It's a good throw by Hollis. Gets upfield, and then now the big fella's running. He does everything right there. Puts the ball. See how there's a little space there? And I don't know who that was that spun around him, but did a great job of ripping that ball out.
I think it might have been McGlown. Number 20.
Been everywhere today.
So the Bucs will get into victory formation here. That's the best formation in football, right, Brandon?
It is. Well, it depends on which side of it you're on. If you're the guys doing the victory formation, then yes, it is definitely the best. But it's definitely one that is not so much fun if you're out there on defense right now.
Coming up after the game, Brandon will mull things over. We'll have our Shadow Man player of the game. We'll build the suspense now for the next 48 seconds.
Yeah.
You're weighing all the factors.
There's been a couple guys when you look at this whole thing and you look at Woodfork. He's had a couple interceptions and he's done a great job throwing a TD pass. McGlowan's had a great game on both sides of the ball. Jalen Joyce, man, the big fella inside, he's done a good job. But look, at the end of the day, I think the guy that we go with for the Shadow Man award, and really what we're awarding is the guy that's been the most valuable player today, right? It doesn't necessarily mean he's the best guy on the field all the time, but he's the guy. Coach Gwynn talked about us. He was the playmaker all year for him. We're going to go with Daniel McGlowan, number 20, as the Shadow Man player of the game.
Yeah, McGlowan with the 2 touchdown runs on those reverse plays in the first half. And just great speed. A very effective weapon out there as we see the handshakes beginning at midfield. And then McGlowan late with the strip of the ball. It created that last turnover and also had the INT.
Yeah, he's been all over the place. Both sides of the ball, 2 touchdowns, 2 turnovers generated. He's a good football player. He's been all over the place. And he finished up a great season. But again, there's a lot of guys. It's a team game. The whole group. You could probably make an argument for everybody that's touched the football out there today, and even those big O linemen out there mushing around.
There you see the players congratulating each other on the field after a hard-fought battle here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium today. We talked about it earlier, Brandon. You hate to see a team win or lose this game. Somebody's going to come away with the ultimate title in a game like this, but I'm not sure the number of teams that started the season across the USA, but to be one of the final two for a national championship, it says a lot about the players themselves and the adult coaches and supporters and parents to get them to this point and end here on December 17th.
Definitely. And the Seminoles have nothing to hang their head about. They came out here, like you said, they were one of the last two football teams playing. And one of the great things about football is it teaches you how to kind of handle adversity and handle losing. And no one likes to lose. Most people hate it, especially those kids out there right now. But again, it's a good life lesson. I'm sure the coaches will use it, let them know, hey, look, you had a great season. But there's a reason we didn't win, and we're going to go fix those things now in this offseason.
Big round of applause for both teams, everybody.
Well, and I really like, too, Brandon, we kind of see it on our shot here. We're going down to the field momentarily, but even after a national championship game, the players go through their post-game routines and stretching, and just like they've probably done every game and every practice all year.
Absolutely. Try not to change anything, right? Keep it the same. It's a great game. We're going to see this ceremony here. We're going to hand the belt out, the trophy for winning the national title to the Columbus Bucs.
All right, we'll listen in here to the stadium announcements of the championship trophy for this 10 and under championship game.
Coach Quinn, come on up here. On behalf of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Columbus is back on the map as a national champion. For all the great football in America, we all know where you guys come from. We know the pride, we know what you guys stand for, we know the ability. And round by round, team by team, like you guys showed why you guys have a Hall of Fame spirit and values. And I saw maybe the best game I've ever seen in youth football this weekend when you guys went 5 overtimes, to win and get yourself here. So congratulations to all of you. Coach, there's an MVP championship belt. There's a kid that I know you want to give the MVP to, and I'm going to let you tell me, because I know that you and I talked about it was special. Who's the MVP on your team, Coach?
Coach, I see it all along. I think we had the best TV player in Ohio, but I was wrong. I think we had the best TV player in the country. Daniel McGrath.
MVP, here we go, Daniel, here we go. On behalf of you guys, just turn it. On behalf of Shadow Man, right, who's been giving out the Player of the Year, the Player that played the game award all weekend long, right? Congratulations on being the MVP. We're going to give you a medal as well. That is going to signify, right, and you guys are going to go down, this team, these players, and these awards, as the first team at the 10U level to win the Pro Football Hall of Fame champion, and you and your team will be listed over at the Hall of Fame forever for everybody to come by and look at every day, forever. Coach, hold on. Coach, hold on. Coach, we've been watching you all weekend long. Now, you got more energy than every coach here. All right, Coach, I know that trophies are important, and you guys got that regional trophy. Right, we know that's going to hang high in your football village out there. But I think every coach needs a belt, Coach. Every coach needs a belt. I know, because you got to keep your pants up. You got to, every now and then, WWE that belt high in the air. So I'm going to give you, Coach, in 2 seconds, right, the 10U championship belt. Will you hold it?
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
On behalf of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you're the 10U champs, and here's the belt for this team. Good job, Coach. Final comments, Coach?
Okay, I just want to thank the players, the coaches, but more importantly, I really want to thank our parents. Y'all made sacrifices all season. I appreciate it. Thank you. Columbus, we're bringing it home.
Picture both teams, guys. All right, everybody stay here. And then we're going to have a press conference, and parents who are allowed to come to the press conference, you're going to meet me in that corner, and I'm going to walk you into the press conference room.
Well, there you hear it, the presentation of the trophy and the championship belt, courtesy of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's going to wrap up our coverage as well. Brandon, final thought on the Columbus Bucs?
It's a really good football team. Great job, guys. Congratulations.
All right, we want to thank John Chastney, our producer and director, also Ben Chastney and Nico Jokas here. A job well done in the booth. The watch list for the 2018 season will be released on April 1st. Will your team be on it? You can nominate your team on youthfootballchampionship.com for a chance to represent your city and to hoist the National Youth Football Championship belt, just like the Columbus Bucs just did. On behalf of Pro Football Hall of Fame National Youth Championships, I'm David Wilson, for my partner Brandon Noble, saying so long from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Thank you for tuning in, and happy holidays, everyone.